Hi everyone, very good afternoon and welcome back to Crack Grade B. So we are going to do questions onto the module of bank financial management, right? The questions are going to be the mixed in nature. So let us start talking about it. See, you will have questions from the letter of credit, export, finance and all these topics. So let us kick start. We are not going to discuss the answers in detail because that is practically not possible if we want to cover more number of questions, right? So I'm going to give you the answer and we'll move on to the next question. So let us start. See, number one, we have question number one, that is ICC Paris has come out with the document ISBP 745 and the provisions of which are. Now, over here, they are comparing it with your UCP guidelines, right? कि इन दोनों के कंपैरिजन में क्या आउटकम निकलता है और व्हाट इज द इंटरप्रिटेशन दैट यू कैन ड्रॉ. सो दिस इज अ वैल्यूएबल कंपेनियन गाइड. So you can use this document to interpret these rules. This is what the final conclusion is. Now, where export finance is not covered under the policies of ECGC, a notification to ECGC on sanction of pre-shipment finance needs to be given. ठीक है. So if you are taking the ECGC cover and in what kind of cases you need to take the ECGC cover, that is mentioned in our notes. ठीक है. तो अगर आपको ECGC को बताना है, then what is the time limit within which you have to inform? So it needs to be 30 days from the date of sanction. Okay. Which of the following is not an acceptable mode of liquidation of packing credit? आपने प्री शिपमेंट क्रेडिट दिया है, राइट? एंड नाउ इफ यू हैव given the pre-shipment credit, there is going to be liquidation as well. That means exporter has to pay you back as well whatever the advance they have taken. So what is the appropriate level? Appropriate level हमारा क्या होगा यहाँ पे? Out of all these three are the correct things, but local rupee resources, this is not something which is what we are going to appreciate if we have to liquidate the packing credit in export finance. Next is exports could not take place in respect of packing credit granted to an exporter, which is the best option available to the bank. So as a bank, you have given the export credit, but now the exporter is unable to give you back. ठीक है. अभी एक्सपोर्टर आपको पैसा वापस नहीं दे पा रहा है. सो इन दैट केस व्हाट शुड बी योर चूजन रिस्पॉन्स आउट ऑफ ऑल दीज 4 responses that has been given? आरबीआई को रिपोर्ट करो, ईसीजीसी को रिपोर्ट करो, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. दीज आर not the primary tools that the bank has. बैंक के पास का ये primary tool नहीं है. Primary tool क्या है? That bank is able to charge the commercial rate of interest from the very first day of advance. पहले हमने आपको export credit at a subsidized rate of interest दिया. हमने आपसे कम rate of interest charge किया. But now the thing is, हम आपसे ज़्यादा commercial rate of interest charge करेंगे because you are unable to give back the amount to us. Now next question is the maximum tenure up to which pre-shipment finance may be provided. Pre-shipment finance, post-shipment finance, and there is a shipment period in between, right? So pre-shipment finance is given to you for a period of 360 days. 360 दिन के लिए आपको ये जो है finance का period दिया जाता है. Next is which of the following statements are incorrect with regard to the caution listing of exporter? Now, even if you don't know this particular question, but you can solve this with the sense of common sense, with a common sense, right? Now you see the options that have been listed over here. That track record with the bank is not satisfactory. Adverse notice of law enforcement agencies is there for you. Exporter is not traceable, and then we have the fourth option. Now fourth option is a genuine option. ठीक है, export bill outstanding है, but the exporter is trying to make all the genuine efforts. So it is a genuine thing. और इस केस में हम caution listing नहीं करेंगे exporter की, but in the remaining 3 cases we are going to do. So that is why my option for this question is option number D. Now this is a question. See, now question देख के लगता है कि बहुत बड़ा question है, but the answer to this is very very simple. So they are saying that exporter has got a letter of credit as per UCP 600 and started working on it. But during the course of completing the contract, उसको एक message मिला importer से कि हमने letter of credit को cancel कर दिया है, right? Now importer and his bank says that in the LC it is not written whether it is a revocable LC or irrevocable LC. लिखा ही नहीं है कि revocable LC है या irrevocable LC है, so we are not going to do anything about it. Now you have been asked, is the stance that has been taken by the importer and his bank is correct or not? उसका stance सही है कि नहीं है? So basic answer over here is बहुत simple सा statement है, आप रिवोकेबल एलसी इशू नहीं कर सकते. यू कैन नॉट इशू रिवोकेबल एलसी. सो दैट इज व्हाई ओवर हियर द स्टैंड दैट हैज बीन टेकन बाय द इंपोर्टर एंड हिज बैंकर इज रॉन्ग. आपने पहले एलसी इशू की, एक्सपोर्टर ने काम करना शुरू कर दिया और अब आप कह रहे हो कि वो एलसी तो गलत है, हम आपको नहीं दे सकते वो एलसी. सो दिस स्टैंड इज टोटली रॉन्ग. यू कैन नॉट डू दैट एंड दैट इज व्हाई द प्रोविजन सेज कि आप रिवोकेबल एलसी इशू कर ही नहीं सकते. ठीक है. So I hope now you understand this. Next is a practical question. So let's total purchase of the goods is 48 lakhs, out of which LC purchase is 50%, domestic purchase is 50% of LC purchase and rest is international. Now domestic usance period that has been given to you is 2 months and international period that has been allocated to you is 4 months. Now you need to calculate the amount of LC which needs to be issued by the bank. Now this is covered in our notes as well. ये जो example है हमारे notes में भी covered है. What is going to be the answer for this is, look at this. 48 lakhs है, ठीक है. 48 lakhs में से आपका LC purchase कितना है? 24 lakhs. That means you are utilizing the LC for 24 lakhs. इसमें आपका 12 lakhs domestic है and remaining 12 lakhs is international or foreign, right? ये है. Now for domestic purchases we are giving you a usance period of 2 months. Now if I divide the 12 lakhs with 12 months, so what comes for 2 months? 2 lakh rupees, right? And 12 lakhs I am giving you for your foreign purchases, okay, and international usance period is 4 months. So on an average 4 महीने के लिए कितना? 4 lakh rupees. So what is the amount of LC that bank needs to issue? 6 lakh rupees. ठीक है. 6 लाख रुपए जो है वो बैंक को इशू करना पड़ेगा. Now next thing we have the words about or approximately which are used. Now this is given in the master circular of the RBI. RBI says in this relation, hear me out, जहां भी आप about के बारे में या approximately word use कर रहे हैं and we are talking about the amount of credit, quantity और unit price. अगर आप इन तीनों चीजों के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, credit, quantity, unit, and you are using the word like approximately. आप approximately शब्द use कर रहे हैं. So in this particular case, what is the tolerance we are going to give you? 10%. ठीक है. 10% ज़्यादा होता है, 10% कम होता है. We are going to bear with it. हम उसको झेल लेंगे. Now next thing, a tolerance. अब now in the above case, I did talk about the amount, quantity. ठीक है. Amount, quantity as well as your price. Now in this particular case we have given you a tolerance of 10%, whereas if I am only talking about the quantity, see this this particular question, a tolerance not to exceed what percentage less than the quantity of goods provided credit does not state the quantity in terms of stipulated number of packing units. मतलब कि you have given a cumulative quantity but you haven't divided it into individual sub parts. मतलब आपने quantity को specify नहीं किया in case of export order. आप नहीं कर पाए उस चीज को. So in this case we will allow you a tolerance. हम जानते हैं that quantity can increase or decrease given that you have not divided it into individual packing units. So that is why with respect to quantity we are giving you a tolerance of 5%. जो ऊपर tolerance था 10%, that was with respect to the amount, with respect to the price, with respect to quantity in general. और यहाँ पे हम किसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं? सिर्फ quantity के बारे में, right? This is a previous year question and I hope that now you have understood the difference between these two questions, right? Now let us see this, which is question number 11. Maximum within how many days the exporter has to submit the documents of LC post exporting the order. कितने दिन के अंदर अंदर आपको document submit करने पड़ेंगे? So the time limit is 21 days. Next is, if there is no indication of in the credit of insurance coverage required, then what should be the amount of insurance coverage of your CIF or CIP value? ठीक है, कितना होना चाहिए insurance coverage if there has been no understanding previously which is mentioned in the contract? ठीक है, अगर आपका previous से कोई understanding नहीं है, so in that case the amount of insurance that you have to go for is the 110%. ठीक है, जो भी आपका CIF और CIP value है, fine, like cost insurance, freight value of your shipment. Now next is, how many banking days will be given to the bank to check the documents related to LC once submitted? कितना time period हम आपको देंगे? We want to expedite the process and that is why the time limit that we have given to the bank is 5 days. 5 दिन का हमने बैंक को time यहाँ पर दिया है. Now next is, which article of the UCPDC guideline shows that LC is irrevocable? Now we have seen a case study related to this. हमने एक case study भी देखी जहां पे ये कहा गया that importer and its bank says that the LC we have issued is silent about whether it is revocable or irrevocable. Now you see there are international guidelines, UCPDC guidelines, right, which brings uniformity. जो uniformity लेके आती हैं वो आपको कह रहे हैं कि LC irrevocable होती है, एक बार दे दिया तो दे दिया, राइट. सो दिस इज मेंशन इन द आर्टिकल 3 ऑफ द UCPDC guidelines. UCPDC guidelines you need to cover only the important articles is something that you have to go for under the UCPDC guidelines, right. Now next we have, who prepares the guidelines of UCPDC? So that is International Chamber of Commerce. Why we have such kind of guidelines? To bring the uniformity in the application of international trade. Now which type of LC that provides the seller an advance payment for additional cost such as pre-shipment, warehousing and insurance? तो देखो दो तरीके की यहाँ पे, वैसे there are a lot of type of LCs, right, ये हमने नोट्स में अपने कवर किया हुआ है that there are lot of type of LCs, but in that there are two kinds of things, दो तरीके की चीजें हैं यहाँ पे. Out of different LC types, we have red clause LC, we have green clause LC. ठीक है, हमारे पास दो तरीके के LCs हैं, एक red clause है, एक green clause है. Red clause के बारे में भी अभी हम आगे देखेंगे, but the green clause LC, why it is used? See, सेलर को एक एडवांस पेमेंट दी जाती है फॉर स्पेसिफिक टाइप ऑफ कॉस्ट, दैट इज वेयर हाउसिंग एंड इंश्योरेंस. ठीक है, वेयर हाउसिंग और इंश्योरेंस के लिए हम सेलर को ये जो है एडवांस पेमेंट दे रहे हैं. एंड दिस काइंड ऑफ एलसी इज लेबल्ड एज, इस तरीके के एलसीज को हम क्या बोलते हैं? ग्रीन क्लॉज एलसी. ओके. Now next is, which type of LC is used by the exporter to reduce the chances of last minute cancellation of the order? Here exporter demands some advance money to purchase the raw material. Now you see, आप advance money demand कर रहे हो, but what is the purpose? Here you are demanding the advance money for warehousing and insurance. Here you are demanding the advance money for your raw material purchase. So that is the red clause LC. Next we have, communication of LC between international bank happens through which source? Now this is for the international communication, financial communication, and this happens through SWIFT. ठीक है, ये SWIFT के थ्रू होता है. Communication of LC between domestic banks. So RBI launched SFMS is something that we use for the domestic communication of financial informations. Financial information को अगर हमें domestically communicate करना है, then we are going to use this kind of system. Internationally we go for SWIFT. हम SWIFT के लिए जाते हैं. Now which bill of exchange is drawn and accepted for mutual help? This is called as accommodation bill. There is no sale and purchase transaction between me and you. आपके और मेरे बीच में कोई sale and purchase transaction नहीं है, but still I am accepting your bill. मैं फिर भी आपका bill accept कर रही हूँ. क्यों accept कर रही हूँ? So that you are able to get the finance. आपको पैसा मिल जाए. ठीक है, आप उस bill को discount करा सके. अगर मैं accept कर लूँगी तो आपको discount मिल जाएगा ना. So that is the whole objective. Now, which section of the Negotiable Instrument Act defines the bills of exchange? Section 5. What is the maximum time period for bill of exchange? 180 days. There are 3 trades entities there. Those are approved by the RBI. RBI के trades related circular में उन्होंने आपको clearly दिया हुआ है that these 3 entities are allowed. Your trades, M1 exchange, receivable exchange, right? Reliance Limited, this is something which is not what you can say listed on the RBI circular. इसके बारे में RBI circular में नहीं लिखा हुआ है. Now question 24, UCP 600 comes into effect on which date? So that is 1st July 2007. Then we have name the bill which will be payable at the specified future date. Now see, if I can bifurcate the bill into two types, it is going to be demand bill and the usance bill. Demand bill के case में जैसे ही I have shipped the goods, I am eligible for the payment, I can demand the payment. But in the case of usance bill, a certain fixed time period or a credit period is allowed to the importer. हम उसको एक time period देते हैं, credit period देते हैं. Suppose I have told to the importer that okay, yes, fine, you can take 2 months time period, take it and then pay me after that. उसके बाद में आप मुझे pay करो. So that is going to be called as the usance period. हम उसको usance period कहते हैं. And this is usance bill they are talking about कि if your bill is payable at a specified future date, that means you have given a credit period. आपने एक credit period दिया है. Fine. Now, when the documents of title of goods like the lorry receipt, railway receipt, bill of lading is not accompanied by the bill of exchange, it is called as the clean bill. क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Clean bill. When the trade bill are accepted by the commercial banks, they are called as commercial bill. Right now, what we are doing is these are the definitions of bills of exchange. Quite basic in nature, but very, very important. You should know the differences between all these kinds of bill, be it clean bill, be it commercial bill, be it accommodation bill for that matter. Now name the factoring which does not take the risk of bad debts. यहाँ पे वो क्या कर रहे हैं? They are going to manage your debtors. They will do the collection on your behalf. वो आपके behalf पे collection कर लेंगे, आपका debtor manage कर लेंगे, आपके bills को discount कर लेंगे. But they are not going to take the risk of bad debts. वो नहीं लेंगे bad debts का risk. So this is called as the with recourse factoring. Now name the factoring which takes the risk of bad debts, right? So this is non-recourse factoring, right? Or without recourse factoring. This is also something you can tell that. Now name the factoring which takes the limited risk of bad debt. So that is the limited recourse factoring. So in this particular case, whatever assets you have taken, only the amount of that asset is going to be liable for bearing the credit risk. सिर्फ उतना ही asset का amount आपका credit risk को bear करने के लिए liable होगा. Fine. Then we have bill discounting facilities only against which bill? Usance bill. Because demand bill is anyway. Demand bill is just like a check. If I have to tell you in a very layman term, this is just like a check कि आप कभी भी जाओ आपको पैसा मिल जाएगा. You are able to get the money out of your demand bill. But in case of usance bill, there is a period. मान लीजिए 2 महीने का period है that I am going to receive my money after 2 months. So that is the kind of bill which I am with which I am going to the bank to for discounting purposes, right? मैं बैंक को जाके बोलूंगी कि भैया आप ये वाला जो बिल है ना इसको डिस्काउंट कर दो because I need money right now. मुझे अभी पैसा चाहिए. So yes, bill purchase facility is against clean demand bill. It is extended. Bill negotiation arises when the trade is made under which banking facility? Letter of credit. So जब letter of credit दिया जाता है, then it is decided that whether the bill is going to be negotiated. ठीक है? That is the situation. Now there are 3 situations: bill purchase, bill negotiation, and as well as your bill discounting, and they all are applicable in different scenarios. तो आप negotiate कब करोगे? When it is under letter of credit. On bid acceptance, the system shall ensure that the factoring unit of micro and small enterprises to be factored within how many days from the goods acceptance date. ठीक है? This is given in the RBI circular. This has been mandated by the RBI and the answer to this is 45 days. So system ensures factoring unit का मतलब क्या होता है? The invoice that you want to get that discounted. वो उस invoice के बारे में हम यहाँ पे बात कर रहे हैं. Next we have for facilitating MSMEs, government has proposed to reduce the turnover threshold of buyer from 500 crore to 250 crore. This has been the change that has been brought in the budget. ये बजट में ये चेंज लाया गया है कि आपका टर्नओवर थ्रेशोल्ड को चेंज किया गया है from 500 crores to 250 crores, so that the more buyers can be onboarded onto the TReDS platform, and the TReDS facility can give the benefit to the MSMEs as a whole, right? Now, for facilitating MSMEs, government has proposed to reduce the turnover threshold of buyers for mandatory onboarding on the TReDS platform. This is 250 crores. Grace period कितना allow होता है bills of exchange में? This is 3 days. Who among the following is a recently added participant in TReDS platform? So that is insurance companies. And remember, in this particular case, even if you go and opt for the insurance of your credit risk that is involved in the TReDS platform, you cannot shift the burden of premium onto the MSMEs. आप MSMEs के ऊपर प्रीमियम का burden जो है वो shift नहीं कर सकते. That is a provision that you have to abide by. Now, all entities, institution allowed to undertake the factoring business under Factoring Regulation Act of which year? That is 2011, a basic static question. Now, which bank means the bank that advises the credit at the request of issuing bank? This is advising bank, right? Which LC? Now over here, you in a layman term, अगर आप LC के बारे में बात करें, then there is an importers bank, then there is an exporters bank, right? So we segregate them and we call them as issuing bank and advising bank respectively. Next we have which LCs the seller can assign a part of LC to the other parties. ठीक है, अगर आप एक part दूसरों के साथ share कर सकते हो, so such kind of LCs would be called as the transferable LC. Which is the credit a buyer avails from a bank in exporter's country under export credit scheme, that is buyer and supplier credit. Both these questions are in relation to buyer and supplier credit, and they talk about the concept which the buyer and supplier credit as a whole involves. Now next we have even when the partial shipments are not allowed, a tolerance not to exceed what percentage less than the amount of credit is allowed. In LC, partial drawings or shipments are allowed. That is 5%. ठीक है, यहाँ पे आपको tolerance कितने का दिया जा रहा है? 5% का. Now the same kind of question. Right, the question which I discussed, question number 2 or 3, right? So I have calculated separately for the domestic LC and for foreign LC. What they have done is they have divided the questions into 2 segments, same kind of thing. Domestic के लिए I know that it is going to be 2 lakhs, foreign के लिए I know that it is going to be 4 lakhs, right? Where I have calculated this is question number 2 or 3 in this PDF only. वहीं पे ये question है आपका, जहाँ पे I have found out a cumulative limit, and over here they are asking in a separate manner. Now name the LC that can only be used by the original beneficiary and cannot be negotiated to the third person. हम किसी और को नहीं दे सकते, so that is going to be untransferable. Which type of LC is hypothetical in nature? So that is revocable LC. Why it is hypothetical in nature? Because as per UCPDC guidelines, you cannot issue revocable LC. आप issue कर ही नहीं सकते. Now, name a term which ensures a bank assumes no liability or responsibility for the consequences that arises due to interruption of the business by act of God, riots, civil commotions, insurrections, war, acts of terrorism, etc. So that is force majeure. Over here, it has been told that bank is not going to assume any liability because of these reasons. मतलब कि if your credit period is बैंक हैज गिवन यू लेट सपोज अ 365 डेज टाइम पीरियड. बैंक ने आपको 365 दिन का टाइम पीरियड दिया है, एंड ड्यूरिंग दिस पीरियड इफ ऑल सच थिंग्स हैपन, अगर इस तरीके की कोई चीजें हो जाती हैं, देन दिस is not going to come under the risk of the bank. Bank is not going to assume any kind of risk onto it. जो भी loss होता है, whatever the repercussions of such kind of thing is going to be, has to be borne by the exporter. ठीक है, ये सारा कुछ exporter को लेना पड़ेगा. Now a single LC that can cover multiple shipments. Here the bank allowed an LC for all the repeated ऑर्डर्स. दिस इज रिवॉल्विंग LC. ठीक है, मल्टीपल शिपमेंट्स के लिए अगर आपको लेटर ऑफ क्रेडिट दिया हुआ है, then that would be called as a revolving LC. Full form of SWIFT, Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. This is a society which has been set up through a joint effort of the different banks or different what you can say monetary power regulating banks of different countries, right? They have come together and they have set up this particular society. Why they have set up, why the financial regulators have set up such kind of society? So that the financial communications can be made more secure. What is full form of SFMS? So this is structured financial messaging system. This is something which we use in India for the financial information related communication. Now, export credit is applicable to all commercial banks except the regional rural banks, because they have got the limited area where they have to serve. ठीक है, उनका area of serving छोटा है, and apart from that they are not concerned with such kind of things. ठीक है, export credit वगैरह से, इसीलिए we have excluded them. The RBI first introduced the scheme of export financing in the year 1967. Export finance is available to you in how many types of currency? So export finance is available to you in rupee as well as in the foreign currency. दोनों में आपको available होगा, rupee terms में भी, foreign currency terms में भी. But RBI is going to push for the rupee related export credit. RBI क्यों उसके लिए push करेगा? Because we do not want to lose our crucial forex. हम अपना crucial forex नहीं खोना चाहते, but at the same time we want that you should export. हम चाहते हैं कि आप export करो, but उसके लिए हम आपको जो है फॉरेक्स देंगे, बट दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी आवर फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी. वो हमारी पहली प्रायोरिटी नहीं होगी. So pre-shipment credit is also known as packing credit. This is in the definition. If pre-shipment advances are not adjusted by the submission of export document, then the advance will cease to qualify for prescribed rate of interest. So remember, export credit is given to you at a subsidized rate of interest, right? हम बहुत कम रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट एज अ बैंक आपसे चार्ज कर रहे हैं, एंड व्हाट वी वांट दैट यू शुड ब्रिंग क्रूशियल फॉरेक्स एक्सचेंज टू अस. आप हमारे पास में फॉरेक्स लेके आओगे. नाउ इन दिस पर्टिकुलर केस, सपोज इफ यू आर अनेबल टू डू सो, आपने हमें एक्सपोर्ट डॉक्यूमेंट सबमिट नहीं किए विद इन 360 days, सो द बेनिफिट दैट वी वर प्रोवाइडिंग यू, वी आर गोइंग टू टेक दैट अवे. ठीक है, वो हम आपसे वापस ले लेंगे. ठीक है, सो द टाइम लिमिट ओवर हियर इज 360 days. इफ यू हैवंट सबमिटेड द एक्सपोर्ट डॉक्यूमेंट्स विद इन अ पीरियड ऑफ 360 days फ्रॉम द डेट व्हेन वी हैव गिवन यू द एडवांस, वी आर गोइंग टू टेक बैक द subsidized rate of interest that we have given you. और आपको क्या पे करना पड़ेगा? आपको डोमेस्टिक लेंडिंग रेट पे इंटरेस्ट पे करना पड़ेगा. Next we have each packing credit sanction should be maintained as which account. So for each stages of packing credit that you are giving, suppose आपने raw material के लिए दिया, आपने कोई machinery purchase के लिए दिया, right? So whatever amount you are giving as a packing credit, you have to ensure that that amount should be given through separate accounts. Why? So that बैंक कैन मॉनिटर कि फॉर व्हाट पर्पस यू आर यूजिंग दैट अमाउंट, राइट? अगर बैंक आपको पैसा दे रहा है, सो बैंक गिव्स दैट मनी इनटू अ सेपरेट अकाउंट जस्ट टू सी दैट वेदर यू आर यूटिलाइजिंग दैट मनी efficiently, judiciously or not. Next we have when exporter exports the order, fulfills its obligation, his pre-shipment credit is converted into which kind of facility? Post shipment. 360 दिन आपने लिए प्री शिपमेंट के लिए, 360 दिन आपने लिए प्री शिपमेंट के लिए. नाउ once you have shipped the goods and you have given the documents, after that the amount is going to be converted into post shipment facility. इसका मतलब अब हम आपको 365 days और देंगे. We are going to provide you 365 days more, right? till you are able to realize your money, जब तक कि आपको आपका पैसा नहीं मिल जाता है. And once you will receive your money, please give that money to us. Okay? When the value of raw material needs to manufacture the exported good is higher than the order, exporter needs to clear the excess dues within how many days, right? So आपका raw material which you need to manufacture the exported goods is higher than the order. Sometimes why do we take excess raw material? क्यों हम excess raw material लेते हैं? Because in this particular case there are wastages involved. ठीक है, कभी कभी wastages भी involved होती हैं. So in that case within 30 days आपने अगर excess raw material लिया है, कुछ भी लिया है, आपको उसका पैसा देना पड़ेगा वापस within 30 days. क्योंकि if you are going to produce 1 unit of output, whatever is required to produce that 1 unit of output, only that much raw material credit we are going to give you. हम सिर्फ आपको उतना ही raw material credit देंगे. If there is any excess that has been taken by you, अगर किसी भी तरीके का आपने excess लिया हुआ है तो वो आपको 30 दिन के अंदर अंदर जो है refund करना पड़ेगा. Now banks should mark off the individual export bills on what basis? FIFO basis. ठीक है. Suppose bank has given a running account facility to you. बैंक ने आपको running account facility दी है. Now you are coming up with the export bills, right? So whatever export bills bank is going to get first, bank is going to adjust against its running account facility provided. So FIFO basis, maximum allowed timeline with the exporter is how many days under pre-shipment? Pre-shipment credit is given for the 360 days time period. Running account facility should not be granted to sub-suppliers. So suppose, sorry, I have an organization, right? Suppose we manufacture cars, ठीक है? And then we have a particular person who supplies us with the tires or wheels, etc. So he is going to be my sub-supplier, right? Bank has given me the running account facility based on what? Based on my पर्सनल गुडविल, मेरी पर्सनल गुडविल के बेसिस पे बैंक ने दिया है. बेस्ड ऑन माई ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड एज एन एक्सपोर्टर, माई ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड इज रियली ग्रेट, सो बैंक हैज गिवन मी दिस फैसिलिटी. Hear me out on to this. I cannot share this facility with my sub supplier, although that person is providing me. वो बंदा मुझे टायर्स दे रहा है, व्हील्स दे रहा है, and without his help I cannot complete my order. मैं अपना order complete नहीं कर सकती. But still in this particular case I cannot share the running account facility which has been given to me by the bank. I cannot share it with my sub supplier. मैं उनके साथ share नहीं कर सकती हूँ. Packing credit. Now if I cannot share the running account facility to them, how can I provide them? So yes, I cannot share them, I cannot share with them the food which I have in my plate, but I can arrange a separate plate for them, right? And that separate plate is something we are calling as inland facility. Inland LC facility क्या होती है? My bank, exporters bank, is going to give a separate credit to my sub supplier, because if he will not supply me the raw material, I will never be able to complete my order. मैं कभी अपना order complete नहीं कर पाऊंगी. So that is why on the basis of my goodwill, right, my bank is going to provide him sub supplier and inland LC. ठीक है. और जब मुझे पैसा मिलेगा, whenever I am going to receive my money, the bank is going to deduct the money that they have given to my sub supplier. उन्होंने मेरे sub supplier को जो पैसा दिया था वो पहले डिडक्ट कर लेंगे और उसके बाद में मुझे कोई भी पैसा देंगे. फाइन. So bill drawn on demand purchase or at site basis, not under letter of credit. What is the normal transit period in that case? So that is 25 days, right? Now in this particular case, bill drawn or DP at size basis, not under the letter of credit, but in rupees. ये है आपका forex में, ये है आपका rupees में. So in this case, what is the normal transit period? 20 days. Now what is this normal transit period concept? इसका concept क्या है? देखिए जरा. See, this is my post shipment period. In this post shipment period, I went to the bank to negotiate or purchase selling my bill. ठीक है. Bank is going to either negotiate with me or going to purchase my bill, and this is the date when I am going to realize the payment. Okay. यहाँ मुझे पैसा मिलेगा, यहाँ मैं बैंक के पास में अपना बिल लेके गई हूँ. So in case of Yuuzhan's bill, we know that we have given a specific time period. हमने एक specific time period दिया है. But in case of demand bill के केस में theoretically I should receive the amount immediately. मुझे पैसा तुरंत मिल जाना चाहिए, right? But that does not happen. There is always a certain time gap which is there. एक time gap तो रहता ही है. So they are saying कि if it is not covered under LC and the bill is in forex, तो कितने दिन लगने चाहिए? 25 दिन. 25 days is going to be the average time period, and we'll give you the credit for this time period, and we call it as NTP, that is normal transit period. हम इसको क्या कहते हैं? हम इसको कहते हैं NTP, that is normal transit period. And if it is mentioned in rupees, तब उसके केस में कितना time period होगा? 20 days, right? Now rupee pre-shipment credit to the construction contractors. Rupee प्री शिपमेंट क्रेडिट, अभी हमने क्या पढ़ा था, प्री शिपमेंट क्रेडिट इज गिवन फॉर 360 days, बट स्पेसिफिकली फॉर कंस्ट्रक्शन कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स, फ्लोरिकल्चर, ग्रेप्स एंड एग्रो बेस्ड प्रोडक्ट, उनको कितने दिन के लिए देंगे हम, 365 days, 5 दिन एक्स्ट्रा, ठीक है। Pre-shipment credit and post-shipment finance may be provided to the exporter of all the tradable services. Now you see, pre-shipment and post-shipment, not, it is not just given in the cases of goods. सिर्फ goods के cases में ही नहीं देते, हम services के cases में भी देते हैं. And how, this is one of the PYQs, ठीक है, ये क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है. So how many services are there? 161 services are there, right? Now next we have pre-shipment credit to floriculture, grapes and other agro-based products are not covered by any scheme of NABARD. NABARD is there for our domestic purposes. NABARD is not concerned with our exports. तो इसीलिए if you are doing the pre-shipment credit, if you are giving the export credit to floriculture, grapes or any other agro-based products, this is not going to be covered under the scheme of NABARD. NABARD की scheme में cover नहीं होगा. In case of demand bills, the period of advance is going to be normal transit period. See, you have shipped the goods, you don't have money as of now, आपके पास अभी पैसा नहीं है. You are going to realize the money in some time period, and the bill that you have is a demand bill. That means as soon as you are going to present the bill, you will receive the amount, but there is a time lag for doing this as well. और अभी हमने time gap देखा that as per FEDA guidelines it is 20 days, 25 days और अलग अलग cases भी हैं. So let us assume that it is 20 days, 20 दिन का आपको time period है बीच में, right? So this is called as normal transit period. आपका date of advance क्या होगा? Normal transit period in case of demand bills. What is going to be the date of period of advance in case of usance bill? So usance bill में there is a time gap. I know that I will be receiving my money, let's say after 1 month, after 2 months. मुझे time period पता है, so that will be the date of advance. यहाँ पे मुझे estimation नहीं करना, right? I don't have to go for any kind of estimation. Next we have, in case of usance bill, credit can be granted for a maximum duration of how many days? कितने दिन के लिए दे सकते हैं? So in usance bill we know that there is a specific time limit, right? But still the maximum period for which you can give the credit under the usance bill, it is 365 days. Now you see, in respect of export of certain commodities, exporters are required to draw the bills up to X percentage of FOB value, the residuary amount being undrawn balance. ठीक है, क्या होता है? When we export the goods, there needs to be a quality check. एक quality check होता है. So sometimes in the contract, there are conditions like that we are going to pay you just 90 to 98% of your amount or invoice value, and the remaining amount is going to be retained by us. बाकी का पैसा जो है अभी हम retain कर लेंगे, अभी हम आपको नहीं देंगे, right? अभी के लिए नहीं देंगे. That is something we are going to retain. So how much you give? You are going to give 90 to 98%. Generally 10 to 2% is the 2 to 10% is the range that the importer retains. He says that we are going to release this payment to you once we have gone through the quality and quantity check of the goods exported. Fine. Now residuary amount 90 to 98% of what? Your FOB value. ठीक है. Banks can finance the advance against the retention money in the case of what kinds of project? Construction projects. ठीक है. So now suppose as an exporter, my importer has retained my money, that is 2 to 10% of range. 2 से 10% तक उन्होंने retain कर लिया है. Now I need the money, मुझे तो वो पैसा चाहिए. So can I get this amount which has been retained by the importer? Can I get this financed from the bank? Yes, you can get this financed, but only this facility is allowed to the construction projects or the people who are involved in the construction related exports. सिर्फ उन्हीं को ये facility allowed है, बाकियों को allowed नहीं है. Where the retention money is payable within a period of 1 year from the date of shipment, as per the terms of contract, bank should charge what? Prescribed rate of interest. So 90 days, ठीक है, 90 दिन के लिए जो है आप उनसे क्या amount charge करोगे? Prescribed rate of interest which is there for your export credit. ठीक है, even if the amount is retained. अगर amount retain किया गया है and it has been promised that this retention money is going to be paid within 1 year, एक साल के अंदर अंदर हम आपको ये पैसा जो है पे कर देंगे. So in this situation duration up to a period of 90 days, for which period the अभी amount नहीं दिया हुआ है, for that period you can bank is going to charge you a prescribed rate of interest that is charged on export credit, right? In the basis of export of goods in consignment basis, suppose I am an exporter, I am based in India, right, and I have exported the goods to a person who's sitting in Dubai, fine, and this goods has been sent on consignment basis. जब मैं सामान consignment basis पे भेजती हूँ, there is always a provision that that person can send the goods back to me, वो मुझे वापस भेज सकता है. So goods are sent under returnable basis, right? So whatever contract you might be having with your consignee doesn't matter to the bank. बैंक को फर्क नहीं पड़ता. बैंक इज सेइंग कि हम आपको कितना टाइम पीरियड अलाउ कर रहे हैं. व्हाट इज द टाइम पीरियड वी आर अलाउइंग यू? 365 डेज. आपका पोस्ट शिपमेंट फाइनेंस इज ओनली फॉर द 365 डेज. वी आर लीस्ट कंसर्न्ड अबाउट वट एवर काइंड ऑफ रिलेशन यू हैव विद योर कंसाइनी. आपके कंसाइनी के साथ में कैसा भी रिलेशन हो, हमें उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, राइट? Within 365 days you have to what you can say square off your credit. ठीक है, आपको आपका पैसा जो है वो वापस देना पड़ेगा. बैंक में एक्सटेंड द रुपी पोस्ट सप्लाई क्रेडिट फॉर अ मैक्सिमम पीरियड ऑफ हाउ मेनी डेज. ठीक है, कितने दिन के लिए आप एक्सटेंड कर सकते हो पोस्ट सप्लाई क्रेडिट? 30 डेज के लिए. पोस्ट हाउ मेनी डेज इट विल बी ट्रीटेड एज ओवरड्यू. 30 डेज के बाद में हम इसको ओवरड्यू ट्रीट करेंगे. Within how many days rupee post supply credit needs to be liquidated? Within 180 days. And what is the time period allowed in case of the ECNOS post shipment? ECNOS क्या होता है? Export credit not otherwise specified. अगर आपने within specified time period export documents जमा नहीं किए, then you will be falling into ECNOS category. And what is the time period? 210 days. So now the next topic is PCFC, and we are going to do this in our next class that is scheduled for 2:30 p.m. today. This is it for this class. I hope you would have understood. We have been really quick with the discussion of MCQs, right? So thank you so much for joining in.